maybe today we could keep our conversation going that I think we touched on in both the first and the second time we talked. And I think in the first time we talked, you talked about that unique experience of having received a bottle of preserves from someone in T Hill, and sort of the rest of your business life being in multiple variations, trying to recapture the essence of that sort of sharing back and forth, and trying to bring that idea into the business. And I guess when we talk about making the leap to this new medium, the question then becomes, is it possible to do justice to that experience? Have there been experiences that you've had online, whether it's buying things or anything that you've seen in the online world? Because I mean, you've got a Mac here, you're an online citizen. Have there been anything that you've experienced outside of the preserve company world that has threads of that?
The only thing that I've experienced, and it's only recently, I don't know the brand names. One of go-to meeting, like for technical assistance, when the person on the other end of the phone is trying to guide me through where to go inside of my own Macintosh, and I can't quite figure it out. They'll have me dial in, and they'll take over the mouse. They'll take over.
That's an interesting explosion.
Yeah, we have little ghosts here.
Yeah.
They'll come in and take over my computer,
Right.
and I'm still sort of in awe of them being able to do that. So I found that as an interesting sort of transfer, yet I'm still part of it.
Yes.
So outside of that, I can't say the internet has yet created any really warm and fuzzies for me.
Do you shop online for anything yourself, for travel or books or?
I'm starting to use Priceline.com quite a bit for my hotels,
Yes.
which is phenomenal service. I buy a lot of books online. I support and buy a lot of books from Indigo here as well, but I still buy a lot online.
I mean, the funny thing about Priceline is the Priceline experience, although it is very smooth from end to end, is probably the opposite of the preserve company experience.
Oh, big time.
No human contact whatsoever. I mean, completely robotic, I guess, but still quite positive for people, I think, in the end. Not something you'd want to emulate, I don't think.
No, we're definitely not Priceline, but I do wear a kilt, and I'm a wee bit Scottish.
Yes.
So if I could save $100 on a hotel room, yep.
Yeah.
So I haven't. There's nobody on the internet that I want to emulate that I've been able to see or find at this point in time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, how do you, if that's the case, how do you, when you're guiding your own web efforts, how do you decide how to do it?
Well, I think that's part of this process.
Right.
We're going to ask people, tell us. Tell us of your shopping experiences. Even tell me what are your favorite websites as far as e-commerce goes, and tell me why, and how can I learn from you that for some reason or another are attracted to us. Then I would like to try and find out what that common thread is. What is it that's about either this community and the other ones that you enjoy working with? Is it a community, or is it just a case they've got really good web tools and you like using them because? Right. But if there's something, another layer down, I would like to see what that is.
Well, I think the online sort of, when you're selling stuff online, there are several steps to the process. And, the last one, the here's what's in my shopping cart, here's how I pay you. I mean, that's arguably the technically most complicated, and the one that you have to get right, and the one that you want to remove all the roadblocks to. But everything that comes before that, which is sort of akin to walking into the old butter factory, browsing around the shelves, maybe talking to a staff person, maybe having a sample of something, that experience is so not. I mean, the human part of that experience, but also just the very practical, taking a bottle off the shelf, looking at, turning it around, getting a feel for it. How do you do that? I don't know. I mean, it's I've never seen anyone do food products in that way very well, and it is such a personal, intangible thing.
Yeah. Well, I know on our own website where I would like to go is that because of standing and working and loving what it is I do here, I see what people's habits are in the physical space. Right? They'll, like you say, they'll grab a bottle, and it used to be, though I haven't seen it for a few years, but it seemed when I started, I was always in awe of how everybody would take everything, whether it was hard or not hard, I seem to smell it.
Yes.
It just always kind of cracked me up. Could do a whole comic routine on people's shopping habits, but interesting thing, people do pick it up. They are reading the labels. They are looking at the bottle as a whole package. So on our website, is it necessary that that we have a 360? Is that the same, or is it just information that they're looking for that we could? And right now, it's not easily accessible on our website, though it's something we want to. It's on our wish list. That you want nutritional information as it relates to that particular product, then it should be, hyperlinked nutritional info. Click here, and then up comes up a
And
little.
that information sits somewhere in your label making system, so it's just a matter of gluing those pieces together,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah. So
I mean, I know from my own experience, it seems as though no matter how much information there is on a website about a product that I'm interested in, it never seems to be enough. If I bought a knapsack for my son from Mountain Equipment Co-op, which I think is a place to emulate. I mean,
Yes.
they have good service and a good attitude in many ways.
yes, they do.
But they had 2 photos, but of course the 2 photos they had of this knapsack were both missing the sort of the important connector thing that we didn't see. So I mean, what I was able to do is phone up one of their stores, have a clerk go and pull one off the shelf and describe it to me. So the sort of the package is, you can't expect the online world, I guess, to exist unto itself.
Yeah, but then it would have been nice now to go to a board somewhere inside their site, that whether there's a message board or something connected, to comment board from customers who have purchased that knapsack in the past, that they could either score it, rate it, or you could even put on the online community, does anybody have a photograph of this thing from this side up?
Right.
And somebody sitting home bored might say, oh, I'd love to do that. Who knows, right? But that's where the whole thing is going.
Well, and I ask myself a lot of those questions because, I mean, TripAdvisor, for example, in the travel world is if you search for a hotel, if you search for hotels in Boston, TripAdvisor will be among the top 10 search results. And it's it's a commercial website, but a lot of what they're doing is providing an opportunity and environment for people to leave reviews. But the problem I always find is that they're people I don't know. And so,
Right.
they're just very anal people, and they'll never be satisfied, or maybe they're concerned about things that I'm not concerned about.
Yeah.
And there is there are probably certain things about people who would be attracted to the products that you sell that would sort of, it's a demographic group, very broad demographic group, so those people would have something in common, but not everything in common, certainly.
And taste, when it comes to taste, and try to describe that experience that someone else can identify with, that's a real difficult
Well,
one.
and that's why it would seem to be, here's the raspberry preserves page, thumbs up or thumbs down. I mean, that's such a inadequate way of capturing the essence of that. Maybe to do justice to that, you sort of need a bunch of sliders that sweet and salty, and sort of allow people to define the experience themselves.
I'd be nervous of the thumbs up, thumbs down one. And I've just been reading about a company called Yelp.
Yes.
Right. I haven't been to their website yet, but I was reading quite a story in this month's Inc. magazine, and wow, I mean, it's sort of like the Yellow Pages with attitudes.
Right. Yes.
But I don't know if I'm ready for Yelp yet.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think there is. When you talk about involving your community or nurturing your community, of course, it's as much talking as listening, and obviously sometimes you're not going to like what you hear. But I think, and this is the key, in my experience with the rest of your business, is that when you hear something, if you respond back, then it truly is a conversation. And if it's obvious you've read and understand what people are saying, then I think they'll respond very well to that. So.
Yeah, the customer is always right. And that old adage, you can turn the camera off and say, no, they're not always right, but it doesn't matter. They are always right.
Yeah. But I guess the key to that is that you're right some of the times too.
For sure.
and you don't. There's a very. It's not. I'm saying it's a delicate line to watch. Doesn't do it justice. But I think you can be honest in your communications with people. You don't have to be rude or insulting, but you can say, here's why we do it this way, or here's the limitations, but we're welcome suggestions as to how to do it differently, or and you know, that's what real human conversation is like. So.
It boils down to usually the difference between a reason and an excuse,
Yes.
right? And an excuse is usually something that's within our ability to change.
Mm-hmm.
A reason is something that's outside of our ability, and if in some cases it's a situation where it's a reason and there's nothing that I could have done because I wasn't driving the truck in Milwaukee
Yeah.
that left the parcel outside your door on a freezing day, there's a reason for what happened. But here's what it is we're going to do to make that right and fix it.
Right.
It's to always catch ourselves on the other side of the things. Don't make any excuses in any way or whatsoever fashion. If you're not happy, we're not happy, and that's the bottom line. Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, part of the key to that is to, I mean, you can, we were talking earlier about the sort of the concentric circles out from New Glasgow into the world when you're sourcing products, but
Yeah.
you have probably an uncommon degree of control, or not control, but involvement with the relationships as they sort of spiral outside from New Glasgow. Like when I was walking in the building, the DHL driver was there. Well, the DHL driver was having a conversation with the people at the counter there. There was obviously a relationship there that had developed over deliveries, and so presumably when that DHL driver has got a preserve company box going somewhere, they're just going to take that extra little bit of attention and care, and because they're going to think of those people. So, and I presume the same thing exists with your blueberry growers, and you know they pick up a bottle of your product and feel some pride in it.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
And it's just a matter of how do you extend that to the driver in Milwaukee, I guess. But some people you can't reach. But
No, exactly. But yeah, I at the end of the day, the most important thing really is your relationships. You know, I don't think about it a lot, but you know, if and when it comes time for me to have a service that says my days are done,
yes.
you know, I would like to think that there'd be a fair amount of people who either for one reason or another would like to be there, you know, and that's not why I would go out of my way to be nice to anybody.
Yeah.
But I think our relationship at the end of the day is a measurement to who really we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think I was at speaking directly to that point. You know, Bobby Clough from Hampshire died several years back, and I went to his wake, and I mean, literally, it was 16 hours of and lineups, and I mean, just you would sit in the chapel, you know, the sort of the staging room before you got to go and visit the family and have conversations with people about their experiences with Bobby. I mean, you live around the corner from Clough's store, so I'm sure you had your own.
I couldn't go in Bobby's store for 6 months afterwards, and I still even just get emotional. Like, Bobby was just one of those beautiful people, you know. Was he a saint? No. Was he a wonderful man? Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And all he did was try and be a better person every day, and I think that's why he had such a wonderful. Why people had such a wonderful love for Bobby. Yeah.
And it wasn't about the Rice Krispies, or maybe it was about the meat sometimes, but I mean, it was mostly about
Bobby.
About Bobby and
Yeah.
the people and the
Yeah.
relationships there. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a member of quote unquote online communities for probably 20, 25 years, if you really stretch back a long way.
Yeah.
And of varying qualities. None has ever really approached this sort of conversation when you're in the room as someone. But I don't think that necessarily means that there's a limitation there. I mean, I think your go-to PC experience makes it obvious that it is possible with some technology to sort of amplify long distance communication. So but it is often what seems to happen is that whether it's businesses or organizations, there's some sense that they want to have a place online for community to happen, but then it often seems to sort of feel like a party where not everyone knows one another and everyone's sort of waiting for someone else to speak up, or you just have very opinionated people who dominate the conversation and scare off everyone else.
Yeah,
so.
just like life.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So.
There'll be some that are sitting there ready to pounce. You want to say what you're thinking, but there'll be somebody ready to either bat it down or get in underneath and support it. And it's just,
I mean, in a sense, it almost seems like what's needed is you know, when a motor coach comes to the Preserve Company, you're there at the door, you know, greeting people. It's almost like you need to be in there online, and you know, fulfilling the same role, I guess, of putting people together and welcoming them, and you know, giving them a sense of what this place is about. So
exactly. Well, we're actually even we're discussing next fall and next Christmas, our markets. And certainly one is the online community, and I can't personally do the deliveries to Milwaukee,
Okay.
but I can do them locally, and I can do them regionally. And I've just shared with staff that that's my goal. I really just want to be, I want to make sure that we're putting out the quality product for sure, and we have the right people working in that area and so on. But at the end of the day, I just want somebody to tell me to take these 4 boxes to this person's address. And I do it every Christmas locally, but now I want to expand that so that we're doing it to Moncton and Halifax and do it on a time.
So if we could get maybe 50 families in Milwaukee to place an order,
I might take it
you'd
down.
be willing to fly to Milwaukee
Sure.
in December? Yes.
Yeah, I'll load up a truck and take a drive to Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to do a database extract to
Yeah.
see what your community in Milwaukee is like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Good. Well, maybe we'll leave it there for today.
Sure.
Oh, actually, before we do, tell me about what the tea I'm drinking is.
Well, this is called Japanese greenberry. So it's a green tea.
Yes.
Just nice little, it has flowers. I can't tell you what kind of flowers it has in it right now, but it's all natural. And it's one of my favorite afternoon teas. Just
Very good.
lovely aroma and nice little gentle push up on the caffeine side.
Helps deaden the cold.
Exactly.